Hello again, America and other awesome places. Welcome back to HemingwayLand.com, your source for quality, affordable land in the state of New Mexico. So I'm going to do a video today about one property. We're going to post it on two different listing pages. We've got multiple properties here in Socorro County. Both are in Socorro, both are in the same subdivision, the Rancho Rio Grande subdivision, and both are in very close proximity to one another. So pretty much everything I say here will be germane, if you will, to the other property. Whatever the case, just go through the particulars of this. This one is reference number SCNM0008J. It is 10 acres, and it is priced at $5,000. The sister property is reference number SCNM0008I. It is 5 acres, and it is priced at $2,500. So $500 an acre for both of these. I should just mention that with the exception of the price, the legal information, and the header photo, both of these listing pages are basically identical. All right, so this particular 10-acre property is a combination of two adjacent 5-acre parcels. That's why you'll see here in the legal description we have two lot numbers, we have two parcel numbers, two account numbers. This immediately makes this a good candidate for live on one, resell the other, make a little bit of a profit or break even, etc. Or just live on both, have a giant chunk of land out there in Socorro County. As with all of our listing pages, click on the GPS coordinates. It's going to bring it up here on Google Maps, show you exactly where it is. So this particular 10-acre property, two 5-acre lots, sits right here off of this road. Basically goes about halfway between this road and this road. So you've got a property line that looks something like this, basically. This road is unnamed in Socorro County. You have to go up here into Valencia County to see what it's actually called. It's either Fritz Road or Claudine Drive. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Whatever the case, come down here to the photo gallery. You'll be able to get a sense of what this road is like. Not every road within this subdivision in Socorro County is going to look this good, is going to be this easily navigated, but the point is that this specific road is. So if you buy this property, it's going to be very easy for you to get any type of vehicle out there, whether that's an RV or whether that's just a small vehicle. You'll be able to get out to the land. All right, let's just talk more about where exactly this is and a little history lesson here. So, Rancho Rio Grande is a subdivision whose creation predates the redrawing of the county lines here between Socorro and Valencia, or rather the creation of Valencia County, I should say, in the early 80s. The subdivision begins up here, goes all throughout here, and down into Socorro County. So it starts in Valencia, ends in Socorro, and everything between here and here are 5-acre properties. So you have a developer who came in, bought up a lot of land, subdivided it all, resold it. Unlike a lot of developers who came into New Mexico, they didn't chop it all up into quarter-acre, half-acre, 1-acre parcels. They made them very generous pieces of property, 5-acre lots. So it's one of the really nice things about this area is that you can get a large chunk of land for an inexpensive amount, more so down in Socorro County even than in Valencia County. Another nice thing here, of course, is that you're in very close proximity to Belen. Very easy, little drive up here into Belen. So you've got access to schools, hospitals, churches, as well as supplies, any kind of groceries or anything that you need. There's also a Walmart Supercenter out in Los Lunas. I believe there's also one in Socorro, the city of Socorro, which is down here somewhere. Right here, etc. Point being, very easy access to those things, as well as to the 25. So not difficult to get all the way up into Albuquerque. I think it's about a 35-minute drive up the highway. Simultaneously, you also have the Rio Metro down here with stops in Belen and Los Lunas. So if you want to work in Albuquerque or even as far north as Santa Fe, but you don't want to be in those high tax areas or in those dense concentrations of people, you want some privacy, you want to have a lot of space to yourself, maybe you don't have a lot of money to spend on that space, this is an excellent place to be. Get a lot of land for a little amount of money and very easy access up into those regions. Now, what I should say, however, is that the biggest selling point of this property is, as we had here in the headline, free of planning and zoning restrictions. Socorro County does not have a planning and zoning office. The most that you can get from them is if you go to their county websites here, you'll see this. Socorro County does not have a zoning or permitting ordinance. At this time, there are no county regulations or restrictions on the use of real property. This makes this very enviable, particularly to the people who, and I talk to a lot of them, who want, who want something that's RV friendly. They want to camp, they want to RV for indiscriminate periods of time. You can do that here. Anybody who wants to build a tiny home, a shipping container home, some sort of earthship home, that's something you can do here. You can't say that about pretty much 95% of the rest of the state. But down here in Socorro County, you can do those things. Now, I'll quickly add, because they take the time to do this here, they go through the trouble to say, you're going to need a building permit. That's a state law. You want to build something, you have to get a building permit. Not difficult to do. Also, liquid waste, any sort of septic installation, you have to talk to the New Mexico Environmental Department, the New Mexico EPA. So Socorro County is saying here on their website, these are two things. They're not under our control. It's state law. You need to talk to somebody else. Whatever the case, not difficult to get those permits, particularly with the septic thing on 5 acres of land or 10 acres of land. You know, they're going to let you, do whatever you want. And if you want to do some sort of off-grid situation, that too should be very easy to do up here. Let's go back here for just a second. So these are some photos of the property, photos taken from the land itself. I'm going to pause the video because I'm choking. Hang on a second. Okay, I'm back. So one of the nice things about this area, as you can see from the photos, is that you've got a lot of flat, buildable land here. It's not an area where you have to come in and grade a whole bunch of rocks, a whole bunch of hills out of the way, so you can put in some sort of home site. As you can see here, this should be very easy to do on this property. Now, of course, one of the drawbacks about this region is that, like I mentioned earlier, Socorro is still very much the Wild West. This is an area that doesn't have power lines throughout the region. I think the closest ones are about 4 miles north of this property. Of course, you can see some out here in the distance. But the point is there's no power at the lot line. So this is, this is a particularly good location if you're looking to do some sort of solar alternative energy source to power the home site that you're building. Of course, it's probably not difficult, a little more expensive though, to get the local power company to come out, install a pole, something like that, hook you up. Whatever the case, this is one of the differences between the Valencia part of the subdivision and the Socorro part of the subdivision. Valencia County realizes that they've got some good land out here, so they value it a lot higher, they tax it a lot higher, and they take that money and they tend to maintain the area a lot better. As you can see, there's more homes out here. Obviously, it's not a dense concentration of homes, but there's more homes out here. There's more power throughout this region, better maintained roads. You don't have that down here in Socorro as much, certainly not the power situation. So it's one of the drawbacks. But for anybody, and I mean, I talk to people all the time who want to do these sort of off-grid solar type things, this is a really good opportunity. Simultaneously, because Socorro values it a lot less than Valencia does, you've got very low taxes here. You've got basically $40 for 5 acres. So that's a really good deal, etc. So with all of that said, I just want to mention, in regards to my whole Socorro being the Wild West thing, this is one of these examples. Basically, when we list a property, we have software that tells us everything we need to know about these lots. Socorro County is pretty much the only county in the state of New Mexico that does not interface with that software. So when we want to find out this information, particularly the location of the property, it's a lot harder to do. As with any property that we sell, we always recommend to our buyers that if you're going to build anything, a structure, a fence, whatever, you need to get the land surveyed. You need to know exactly where it starts and ends. We can ballpark it pretty well. But we always recommend that you hire a surveyor. This is particularly the case with Socorro County. To get GPS coordinates for even just the center point of the lot, which is what you're looking at here, this is something that takes a lot of effort to get the GIS office to coordinate and volunteer these sorts of things. So getting them to try and figure out what the corner points of the property are, even if they bother to do that for you, it's not going to be the most reliable thing in the world. So just an FYI. Simultaneously, I should also mention this is about as good as a plat map as you're going to get out of Socorro County. Anyway, all right. With all that said, anybody who is interested in purchasing this property, it's very easy to do. Come up here, click the Buy Now button. It's going to take you to secure checkout. We're going to ask what name you want on the deed, what's the tax address, where's the treasurer going to send the yearly bill to, the $40 bill, etc. And then you click Next, and on the next page, you're going to enter credit, debit card information, and you are then going to be the owner of the property. We are going to write up a deed. We're going to have that to you within 24 hours along with some other paperwork. Once you approve the deed, we're going to autograph it, notarize it, and mail it off to the county to be recorded. From start to finish, it's about 3 weeks before you have the thing in your hand. Obviously, if somebody wants us to mail the deed to them directly, we will do that, but we take care of the cost of recording the property for you, so you might as well let us record it for you. Anyway, with all of this said, I just want to mention we've sold a bunch of 5-acre properties both in Valencia and Socorro County within this subdivision. They sell really fast. And the same thing tends to happen all the time, which is that we'll debut these things on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I get a million calls and emails from people asking me basically the same question. And then the property sells to someone who's never spoken to me once. And then everybody calls me back all upset, asking when the next 5-acre, 10-acre is going to premiere. And can you call me when it's going to debut the property? Can you? No. And the person who's making this video is not a salesman. I do not have that strand of DNA, as you can probably tell, anybody who's ever listened to one of these videos. So when I tell you these things sell fast, it's not a line. This is genuine. These things sell fast. So if this is something that interests you in the least, I would recommend that you act sooner rather than later. All right, everybody who just watched 11 minutes of me talking, thank you so much. If you found this helpful, if you like the video, give us a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel here, click the little bell, and be amongst the first to know when we release the latest and greatest videos of me talking about properties. Thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate it.